I didn't know how to word this, but James Cameron, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yes, this looks better than that. It's a great upgrade. But this was the most egregious of the three.
It has its moments where it really becomes almost a showpiece for the 4K Blu-ray format, and then it also becomes a lazy example of what you could do with the 4K Blu-ray format if you don't put your heart into it. And that's really disappointing because it really is the definition of a mixed bag.
It is a slightly uneven viewing experience.
This is not good. This is not good for anyone. No film should be treated like this. And if you want to get into the whole, oh, it's the director's film, he can do whatever he wants with it, he made it, blah, 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 blah. That's fine and dandy in a creative sense of that argument.
But when you get to actually trying to manipulate the film and change the way it was made on a technical level, to try and eradicate that it was made on a particular format at a particular date and time and a particular style, which necessitates...
Hey guys, welcome to Last Movie Standing. So I wanted to make a video today kind of venting, something a little different, because there's something that's kind of bugged me about the YouTube physical media space with this particular movie, True Lies on 4K. There's a lot of discussion going around now, and everybody's kind of saying the same thing. It's not good enough. Like, that's the basic outline everybody's talking about. Like, you know, it's the best there ever is, it's the best version there is, but there's this problem, and I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, this movie looks amazing on 4K and Blu-ray. I watched both of them as soon as I got it in today from Amazon. Pre-order kind of took a little bit because guys, these sold out. Like, you can't buy this on Amazon right now. Like, it's backstocked. You're going to have to wait a couple months. So, do you think Fox cares? Or Disney cares that you're complaining about a little DNR?
They're not going to care. They don't care. What? They're going to care?
No, they don't, because this sold out. And it's an amazing transfer. Yes, there's some DNR, but there's worse looking 4Ks out there. And there's this whole thing about 4Ks need to be reference quality. Not everything has to be reference quality. I've owned True Lies since the 90s. Like, literally. I've had the VHS since I was a kid. I've had the DVD. This DVD came out in 1999 and has not been re-released since. This is the first time we have this on Blu-ray. Like, they didn't take the whole, okay, we're going to release it on DVD, and then we're going to do Blu-ray, and then we're going to do 4K. No, they were just like, jump, which is huge. And really, my issue is, I feel like there's a lot of, like, reviewers out there that don't feel grateful for what we get. Like, Fox Disney didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. They literally could have just put this on streaming, and we would have been even more pissed, because that's what people are comparing it to. People are comparing it from the 4K digital to the 4K disc, and obviously the 4K disc is going to be better quality. This is a physical media channel, so we're going to talk about physical media. I love physical media. I collect it. It's one of my biggest passions. So yeah, I'm going to get it on physical. This was day one, pre-order months ago. I think last year when it was, like, announced, I was just up on the pre-order. So, like, what are your options here? This version or this version? Or you can bootleg it from Spain, apparently, or get the Spanish import, which might be like an updated DVD quality just on Blu-ray or something. I don't know. I don't have that bootleg. But I don't see anything wrong with this version. Yes, there's some DNR. I work in video production. Like, the reason I have the job I have right now is because I'm able to take models and people and smooth them out. Like, that's a big part of my job. And that's like what most things are today. And yes, this movie was made in 1994. And I think one of the biggest complaints is they're trying to make it look like today. Like, James Cameron's going to do what James Cameron's going to do. Like, we don't really get a say in that. It could be worse. There was one thing that really was, I was like, there was one complaint. I don't want to call this person out. If you've seen the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where they basically compared This True Lies to the specialized Star Wars versions.
It's like the Star Wars special editions, and, you know, which I can watch now and I can enjoy, and it's still, you know, Star Wars for me. But I also keep those original unaltered, you know, VHS tapes. You might want to hang on to the DVD copy of True Lies, or if you have that Spanish release, you know, that's probably a little bit closer to what you remember seeing back in the day.
No. Comparing this to Star Wars special editions is ridiculous. That would basically be like James Cameron adding an avatar walking in the background. He didn't do that. I say that as somebody who has Star Wars on Blu-ray, the special editions, and I didn't have the DVDs, but these look fine. When they came out and they added the new effects to it, yeah, it stands out. That stands out. That's kind of like a little issue where you're like, I don't remember that, and I remember watching these as a kid, the VHSs from Blockbuster. So I bought the despecialized versions, the bootlegs, and these look fantastic. And these are my number one ways to watch it. But these are bootleg. These are fan-made. And guess what? They have different flavors for this. You can get this DNR'd. You can get this not DNR'd. You can get version 1, version 2. This is fan service. This is fans taking it into their own hands, which I love. But we're not going to get that with everything. You think somebody's going to go in and find this and like re-denoise it and we're going to have like a whole campaign with the whole Cameron cuts? No, we're not. This is the best we're going to get. And I think I'm a little annoyed when I see every people reviewing this movie saying the same thing. It's good, but it's not good enough. This is like the worst looking 4K out of the James. No, it's not. It's just getting back to, I think, being grateful for the things we do get. Because this is the best this movie is ever going to look. And we're probably never going to get another version of this. This is Disney owns 20th Century Fox. It took them almost 25 years to update this from DVD to Blu-ray to 4K. In 25 years, physical media may not really be a thing. It may be still extremely niche, like it is now. So, I don't know. Like I said, this is one I'm just kind of doing off the top of my head because it kind of bugged me. Like, it almost got to the point where as soon as I got this in today, the first thing I did was I jumped to the scene of him and Tom Arnold talking, because that's the one thing everybody's showing. Like, oh, look at the skin. Like, it looks plasticky. I went to it, I'm like, it looks fine. Like, I see what you're talking about. There's no grain in it. But there's also issues where too much grain is in the picture. Not for this movie, but 4Ks that have too much grain in the picture. Like Weird Science. I just got Weird Science on 4K. And I was hesitant about it because there are some reviews that are like, oh, it's just too much. And then there are some where it's like, this is one of the best I've ever seen. And I put it in, and I'll be honest. The opening scene of Weird Science on 4K looks rough. Looks really just like, God, that looks bad. But as soon as you get past like the first 5 minutes of the first scene, it looks great. It looks amazing. And I would honestly kind of wish they would have DNR'd that because it's so grainy and so bad. Another thing that we don't really have any information on for most of these movies is the state of the original camera negatives. Some of these camera negatives are stored bad. Some of them get damaged when they move. We don't know. Like the legend Blu-ray from Arrow Video, everybody was like, why isn't this 4K? And they were like, well, the original print or the inner positive is really rough. And believe us, you do not want this on 4K. It will not look good on 4K. And the Blu-ray looks absolutely amazing. And there are some times where we don't even get the versions we want. Going back to Legend, we get the US cut, the theatrical cut, which I didn't grow up watching, on 4K. And then we get the director's cut, which probably more than 50-60% of the world saw, because that's a little bit more the European cut, one I grew up with. That version's just not 2K or 4. It's like a 2K scan, or it's not the pristine version of it, but it looks fine. But you know, like, or are we gonna always complain like, oh well, you know, this rated version is on 4K, but this unrated version, the one that I really like, is just on Blu-ray? We don't really get that option. It's really just more being grateful for what we get. This probably went way longer than I wanted it to. I probably went on a few tangents, but probably at the end of the year, this is going to be on my top list of 2024 for 4Ks or releases. Just the fact that we got this release is a win. Like, who cares if it's good enough? We, like, as like hardcore collectors, yes, we have an opinion on it. But this is for the masses too. And probably most people don't care. That's why DVD sales are still one of the number one selling things out there. They could have released this just on Blu-ray and given us like an updated DVD. And guess what? Everybody would have complained. Why isn't it on 4K? But we get it on 4K. Oh, it's too much DNR. James Cameron's ruining his stuff. It's his stuff. And it looks great. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because this is one of my favorite 90s movies of all time. Like, this is easily top 10 90s movies of all time. This is, this is the most fun James Cameron movie he's ever made. I want to say fun. I'm not going to say best. I think the Titanic 4K is probably one of the best 4Ks of this last year that just came out. I think it just came out in December, so just in the past few months. It looks amazing. And now we're complaining about True Lies. Guys, let's just be grateful that we have it and cherish that, because some people are still just have the VHS, and the VHS and the DVD are probably not that far off in quality. So to jump this big is huge, and I think we should just appreciate that. And if you're looking to buy this movie, buy the movie. Like, I rely on most of these YouTubers for information, because that's the one thing about 4K that I have a love-hate relationship with. I have a whole love-hate relationship 4K video coming out that I'm working on, but don't sit here and say this is the best it's ever looked and then say except for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, it's in a way discouraging people to buy the movie. If there were real problems with it, I probably wouldn't make this video. You know what I'm saying? If I really felt like, and I really didn't want to make this video. I'm sitting here like, I'm not going to throw my opinion in the ring. It's not that big of a deal. And then I watched the movie. And I talked to a friend today on the phone who had just seen the movie on digital for the first time. And he was blown. He was like, oh my God, this looks amazing. Like, oh my God. He hadn't seen the movie in probably 15 years. Is he looking for, you know, weird skin textures? No, he's not. He won't even notice it. I probably wouldn't even notice it unless I watch these YouTube videos. And now I'm watching it and I'm looking for the mistakes. I'm looking for it. And to me, that's not how you should watch a movie. You should not watch a movie that you've been waiting 25 years for an upgrade for with tainted glasses. Like, that's not why I collect. I don't collect just to be like, oh, I have it, but I'm going to keep the DVD because I may want to watch that too. Like, I'm the kind of person I collect. As you get to watch these videos, you'll see I do collect my DVDs. So, like, I keep my DVDs. But that's mostly for special features. This movie originally had no special features. That's another thing. We get an amazing 45-minute new documentary on this, or 43 minutes. That is amazing. There's nothing on the original DVD. There's a theatrical trailer. That's it. I don't know if there's... I don't think there's a director's commentary on this. But you know they've been working on this for a while because they have Bill Paxton in this. It's probably older interviews because you can kind of tell the Arnold, Jamie, and Cameron stuff are more recent. You can tell by their age and their hairstyles. But they have Paxton in there, so you talking about it. So you can tell they kind of have had this working. They've been working on this for a while. Oh, I'm gonna complain about one thing about this release. I'm gonna be like everybody else. I'm gonna complain about something, a pet peeve. This sticker on the slipcase. Come on, guys. Are we still putting stickers on the cardboard? Like, I'm not a fan of that. That's my complaint about this. It's this stupid sticker that I had to very carefully peel off so it didn't rip the slipcover. That's my complaint about True Lies. But yes, I will agree with everybody else. This is the best it's ever looked. Yes, there is some AI DNR. Does this look bad? No. Is this reference quality? I think that's subjective. I think that depends on your description of reference quality. A lot of people say 2001 is reference quality. I think it's one of the worst ones there is for 4K, and maybe it's the HDR. Another thing a trend I'm starting to see is 4K has to be immersive. It has to immersify you into the experience. I think that's subjective too. Like, I really do. Like, there's been some reviews I've seen where they're saying, well, this is the lesser quality of the 3 camera movies that just came out, The Abyss, Aliens, and True Lies. This is the less immersive of the two. Guys, this is the only one that's not a sci-fi movie. Like, what's supposed to be immersive about half this movie taking place in, like, downtown DC and Miami? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not The Abyss where you're underwater with aliens. It's not Aliens where you're in space with aliens. This is literally half the shots in this are driving scenes and them in suburbia or downtown areas. Like, I guess I have a different opinion on immersive. Like, immersive to me is Avatar in 4K. That's immersive. Like, you're going to a whole other world. This is just one of the most beautifully shot suburban movies you'll ever get. And it holds up. Here's another truth. It could have looked like the Star Wars 4Ks. And I'm sorry, my personal opinion, those look awful. They could have done that with this. I feel like this is a massive achievement in physical media. Monumental, almost. And people are complaining. This is going on my top of the list. So, I love this. I love this transfer. I can deal with the DNR. I can deal with little things. I'm just a fan, you know? And it's all about the movie. And the movie looks amazing on 4K.